Welcome back to Leadership Training Camp. In this lesson, I want to talk about how to become a better motivator. You know, Vince Lombardi said something many years ago. He said, you've got to know people to move people. He said, my job is to learn 40 different ways to move 40 different men. And that's really wise advice. If you want to become a better motivator, quite frankly, you're going to have to spend more time with your people. You cannot figure out what makes them tick with this incidental daily contact. You can't figure it out by memo, by email, by voicemail. You need to build the relationship with them. Having the daily contact, having the one-on-ones, having the monthly reviews, doing many of the things we're talking about in this training camp. You've got to understand your people are not cattle. They are unique individuals. They have different strengths, different weaknesses, different motivational triggers, and not everything motivates everybody the same way. Sometimes we start to think, oh, it's all about the money. You just throw enough money at them and they'll be fine. But if money was the prime motivator, then you'd never have volunteers for anything. How would you explain the existence of teachers or firemen or policemen or soldiers, people who make modest pay, but are more driven by the opportunity to make a difference, to be part of something special? We have to understand different things make different people tick. You have to know them to move them. And see, our job as a leader is not to drag horses to water, and once they get there, to try to talk them into drink it. You've got to find out what makes the horse thirsty. And that happens over time. It happens over time. You have to build trust. You build the relationship. You also have to know that motivations change over time. You may have somebody right now, and the fact is they are so buried in debt that their number one motivator is money. They've got to pay the mortgage. They've got to make that car payment. And that may be what moves them right now. But you know, 6 months from now, they're out of the hole. It could be something totally different. You know, it's time with family, it's more quality of life, it's more recognition. In fact, if you look at the different surveys that I've seen over the years of the different motivators, money isn't anywhere in the top several entries. Top motivators are things like a desire, you know, for recognition. That's number one in a lot of people's books. You know, a lot of times we tell them what they're doing wrong. We don't bring closure and acknowledge when they're doing right. That's big. That's more and valuable than money to a lot of people. It's a sense of belonging. That's another sense of, you know, very sense of strength that connects someone to the workplace. I belong to something special. I'm associated with a special group, you know. And if you have a good, strong team culture, you're probably appealing to that motivation. Desire for trust is another key motivator. People want to be trusted. They want to be allowed to make some decisions, and they want to be able to trust you as well. So desire for trust kind of goes both ways, you know. And desire to grow, that really motivates people. I have a chance to learn something new, to get to another level. I mean, there's so many different things. We could go on, and you really have to figure out, there's probably a combination of things that moves someone at the moment, but there's normally one that's dominating. There's normally one of those traits, one of those factors that is more dominant than the other. And you've got to know what button to push. Just like for many of you, I know you were in sales at one time, like I was. You had to find out what the customer's hot button was, you know. Not every customer was the same. Well, our people are the same way. They all have hot buttons as well. And you have to care enough about them to get close enough to them to figure out what they are, all right? And you say, well, isn't that kind of just, you know, manipulation? No, manipulation is when you do something for your own sole benefit. Motivation is where you're doing something for mutual benefit. Yes, it's going to benefit you and the company, but it benefits the person as well. So maybe this is a time to take a little pause and just list your people and just say, do I really know what is this one's motivational trigger? And what is that one? And if you're not sure, you know, and you're guessing, you're probably guessing wrong. It's a strong indication you've got to get back out there in the trenches, spend more time with people, connect with them at a closer level. John Maxwell said it many years ago very well. He said, you can impress people at a distance with your title,